Yes, that's true. I don't really... You started to work out because you weren't... You say you eat whatever you want, but I've never seen... We are back with another video. I hope you're having the loveliest day. Today I thought I would go through some of your assumptions. I've asked you guys on Instagram and you've sent in loads of varied ones, like from everything like personal stuff to like fitness stuff as well, and some of them are quite funny. I did one of these, I think it was about a year ago or something, and it was on like a time limit, but I just thought I'd sit down and kind of do this one. Make sure you've got yourself a cup of tea or a coffee or some snacks or something. Let's start. I'm just gonna scroll down. I'm gonna try and get through as many as these as I can. First one, that you don't drink alcohol on a regular basis. Yes, that's true. I don't really drink often at all. I did drink last weekend. It doesn't take much for me to get drunk now, obviously, because I don't drink like that often. But I don't mind drinking with friends every now and then, but I'm more of like a social drinker. You are at your happiest. Yeah, I feel really happy and content in myself. I've been trying at the moment like to not focus my happiness on anything external, and I'm just trying to find happiness like from within. I think when I was younger I used to put my happiness on like performance stuff, so like say I remember when I was in uni, like I remember thinking, oh, as soon as I've like graduated and got my own house and stuff like that, that I'd be happy, and then, or as soon as I had X amount of money in my bank account, I'd be like just automatically happy. And boy, was I wrong. Those like external things, obviously they help to situations, but they don't bring you like happiness within, you know. So yeah, but I would say that's true. I feel really happy and content. You have a small circle. Yes, that's true. I definitely have like a smaller circle. I feel like I am a really like social person, and I love meeting new people and getting to know new people, but I do find it harder to, not harder, but like to form, you know, like deeper relationships with people, like on a deeper level, just because I feel like sometimes it's just so easy to see through people in a way. I don't know what that's got to do with like being a small circle. I feel like I've got a small circle of like really deep, meaningful, real, true friends. I'm not one of these people. I don't like to surround myself with just like loads of like acquaintances or like fake people who aren't really like there or who haven't really been there, if you know what I mean. You started to work out because you weren't happy with your appearance. Yeah, I would say that's pretty true. When I first started out training, it was probably out of a really negative headspace, just in the sense of like I didn't like what I felt I looked like in the mirror. So that has definitely changed because over the years and stuff I've like developed from that stage and like mentality. Do you have ever wanted a thigh gap? Yeah, I remember actually, like I think trends sort of change, don't they? But I remember a few years back when it was really trendy, wasn't it? Like everyone sort of wanted a thigh gap, and I think I had like a little bit of one if I really stood and put my legs like and shoved my hips right back. I think I naturally have always had some like body fat in the top and middle of my thigh, but now like I don't care if I have a thigh gap or if I don't have a thigh gap. So you didn't think you'd settle down so early? Yeah, I'm gonna say that was true. I think when I was in school I used to say I wanted kids by like 23 or something, and now that's completely changed. I didn't think I'd be in like a long-term relationship. Like Mason and I met when I was 19 and I'm now 22, but I love like, yeah, I'm gonna say it's true that I didn't think I would find like my soulmate at 19. I wouldn't change a thing. So yeah, we're getting engaged soon. Not that I'm not aware if I'm getting engaged soon. You naturally have a small waist. Yeah, I'm gonna say that is true. I feel like I've got a smaller frame. Like I've always had quite a smaller waist. Don't like blow my own trumpet and be like, yeah, I've got an itty bitty waist. You like baked oats more than regular oats. That is actually false, you know. That is false. Like not that you believe that from the amount like I have baked oats, but like regular oats will always have my heart. They were there first. Do you know what I mean? They were there. They were the OG. Baked oats, I absolutely just love those as well. You are low-key spiritual and you are trying to integrate that into your work and platform. Yes, I'm gonna say that is true actually. When I started my YouTube channel, I feel like I've always been spiritual, but I've never really directed it or like practiced anything. And now I've got way more into like my meditation and mindfulness, which I just think is like, if I could share that with anyone, it's changed my life, so I know it'll change others. So that is definitely why like I start to integrate that, but I'm not like being like low-key about that. It's just like a whole journey, shall we say. And yeah, I would love to integrate it more into my work and platform, just because it's like, it goes hand in hand with fitness, and it is just like all well-being and stuff. You don't count calories anymore. No, that's false. I do track and count my like macros. I haven't done it for like a few months, like prior to quite recently, but yeah, it's good to take breaks, I think, every now and then, but like at the moment I'm backtracking and stuff, so that is false. There's no right or wrong way, by the way. Like, you don't have to. You can intuitively, you can track your calories and macros, just like finding what you like best for your lifestyle and stuff. Next one, you don't eat pizza. I don't really have pizza often, no, like, but I love Domino's, but probably the last time I had a Domino's will be way over like a year and a half ago. I'm trying to think when I last had pizza, but no, I don't really go for pizza. I find it really heavy on my stomach, like just makes me feel like really bloated. But I do love pizza. You don't put on weight easily. That is false. My weight can fluctuate so like pretty quickly, to be honest, and it's always been like that. So yeah, I keep going so yeah. Why do I keep saying that word? You prefer wearing your hair down most of the time. I think it looks beautiful up or down. Thank you so much, that's really kind. But that's actually false, you know. Like, so today I was literally saying to myself, I'm trying to train myself to wear my hair down more, because naturally, like, I always just shove it up. Like, if I'm ever doing anything around the house, like, I just put my hair up, and I'm trying to get my hair like a bit healthier, and I want it to grow and stuff, and it's way better to have your hair down rather than you can get like more split ends, you know, and you're tying it up all the time, and especially working out in like tight hair buns, which I never knew. Like, I used to sleep thinking if I tie my hair up it's like better for your hair, when it's the opposite. So yeah, that is definitely false. I feel like I suit my hair down more sometimes, but yeah, I wear it up most of the time. Like, if you see me day to day, I feel like I've always got it up. Next one is you never binge / go over your macros. That is false. I go over my macros quite often, to be honest. I'm never gonna sit here and be like, portray a false image. Yesterday I had like, I didn't track the chocolate that I ate, you know, there's days like that. It depends like what my sort of goals are at the moment. Like, I don't mind if I go over macros slightly, or tracking like on the dot every single day of my life, you know. So yeah, so that is definitely false. Next one is you get told you are too young. I don't know what perspective that is coming from, but I'm gonna say that is true. Yeah, I feel like sometimes when I share my age with like brands or just sort of people in general, anything to do with work, like I do get like a bit of a weird reaction, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna say that is kind of true, but you're as old or as young as you want to be. You walk over an hour a day. Probably, yeah, I probably do. Yeah, I probably do walk over maybe about an hour. Take Penelope on like a big walk, but usually I always try and aim for like 10,000 steps, and I think that takes about an hour or so. I'm trying to get out more, like especially now the weather's been a bit nicer and sunnier, and just be like more active during the day, like, because I'm majority of the time I'm at my laptop, like sedentary. A lot of creepy messages from men. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I always get really weird messages off these fake accounts saying stuff like, can I pay for your knickers, or like just like so like many random bizarre requests like that. Probably is off like the same person, but they seem to make loads of fake accounts, but I just try and like block those. You used to be overweight. I never diagnosed myself as overweight, but I do think I was quite chubby and probably slightly overweight when I was younger. I just used to always had a really big appetite and just sort of like definitely overate and was quite greedy sometimes. You have to spend every minute on social media. Now I'm gonna say this one's false. I feel like I've actually gone the opposite way recently. Like, I find myself like I'm trying to break habits of just like naturally going on my phone and just spending like like aimless time like scrolling, and then you know those times when you get into like a scroll loop, and at the end of it you're like, oh my god, where has that like 20 minutes gone? What have I like gained from that? And as soon as I noticed that like that was happening often, I've actually gone the opposite way, whereas I just try and like come on, post my stuff, engage with accounts that like I enjoy following, and like carry on with like life in the present rather than just being like watching other people, if you know what I mean. I think as soon as I became more conscious of that, I've actually gone the opposite way, and especially after watching Social Dilemma on Netflix a few months back, that really made me realise like how addicted we can be to our phones without realising. So like habits that I've changed: first thing in the morning I try and not pick up my phone straight away and make sure I do like my inner stuff, like my meditation, writing down my plan for the day. Otherwise I just don't think it's starting your day off on the right foot. So you don't overthink your YouTube videos, you post the first take. I love this. Oh, thank you so much. That's definitely true. It's just easier, isn't it, that way, like just being yourself, like I just can't imagine how exhausting it'd be to constantly thinking stuff and then refilming parts, when I think that's what just makes you, isn't it? At the end of the day, like the quirks, the errors, the whatever else. You say you eat whatever you want, but I've never seen you eat a pizza or anything super unhealthy. No hate. That is definitely false. I don't know, I'm trying to think, like, have I not filmed on days when I eat out? Like in Dubai, I ate out quite a lot, because when I do film like my what I eat in a day's videos, I try and make sure I'm home cooking, because that's what I do the majority of the time. Like, I don't think it'd be that useful for me to show you like what I eat in a day without showing you like the full recipe or like how I've made something. But seeing as I've had like 2 of those questions, I will definitely show you more stuff, like say if I'm eating out. I just don't ever think that would be useful or like of interest sometimes, but that's really good to know. So yeah, that's definitely false, because like, yeah, Mason would be shocked if he heard that, because we do eat out, or like we'll have stuff, you know, like on the go. You faced any family problem because of your boyfriend? No, that's false. I haven't had any problems with my family because of Mason. I think one of my first boyfriends, yes, I did have like lots of family problems, and like I should just not have approved either. But yeah, not Mason. Next is, you're very mature for your age. Yeah, that's definitely true, I'm gonna say. I've always, I think like from like as small as I can remember, to be honest, I've always felt like, yeah, like an old soul, or like I've always felt like I've been here before or something. That might sound so strange. I think that is reflective of maybe like my childhood and the way I grew up, to be honest. Next, do a lot of ab exercises. I'm gonna say that's false. I really don't train abs often at all, really, and it was probably only last year that I properly dedicated more time to training abs. So yeah, definitely I don't train them like every day or ever. I'll maybe train them like 1 or 2 times a week, and then I feel like I get a lot of ab work anyway, just from like compound movements and stuff. You've always been into fitness and know exactly what you're doing. That is absolutely false. When I was in school and stuff, like I think I used to avoid PE. I liked swimming, and I think I was in the netball team, but I wasn't in like the top team or like the top rounders team, anything like that. So that is definitely false. I've not always been into fitness. Like I didn't want to do PE as an A level or anything. Saying that, like I got into horse riding when I was quite young, and I like to do that competitively, and I feel like that's quite kind of sporty and active, and I think that's where it all started. What did his hand? It all started around when I started like horse riding stuff, like getting more active, because I was outdoors all the time. Like I'd spend so much time outside, like even in the winter and stuff. You struggled or have struggled with body confidence. True, I think we all have, haven't we? Like at some stage in our life. I think my main thing was not necessarily, I think we've all struggled with body confidence. That's just like a no-brainer, isn't it? I think mainly like self-confidence, I feel like I struggled with at some stages of. Someone just came to the door. But yeah, we're talking about confidence, and I think my confidence issue, or where I struggled with the most, was just sort of like backing myself. Like I feel like for some, I don't know when it was, I felt a bit lost when I was at uni and stuff, and I was just like, oh, I don't know where I'm going, and I just didn't have much confidence in myself, which I definitely used to have more of like when I was a bit younger, and then that took some time. I've worked on that loads, and like I'm obviously a lot more confident now. And I remember when I first started my YouTube channel, the first year, like I was basically just posting videos, and it was probably just like 2 people watching. And I remember that sort of like knocking my confidence, because it was something I enjoyed doing, and I was just kind of like, should I pursue this? Like, what am I doing with my life? There's like countless times where I had to, when was it, when I did first start out my YouTube and I was in uni, I obviously wanted to pursue certain stuff that didn't work out, and I had to go, I felt like I was going backwards in steps. Like I need some confidence knocks to come back stronger and like to grow from. But yeah, all in all, I feel like I'm much more like confident in myself, but wrapped things up quite nicely. I feel like I've answered quite a lot of those. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. If you've got any video requests, just pop them in the comments and I will get back to you. Yeah, have a lovely rest of your day.